Everybody out there, Sam Denny, aka Halfass Customs, and this is another episode of Halfass Presents Podcast. Now, in this episode, we're having a guest that has been on the show 2 times, been interviewed, and a few times on the live streams, and he's coming back, and we're going to talk about the RPM meet coming up here in St. Louis that we'll both be at. And then probably whatever we're planning on bringing to give you guys a little hint. And yeah, we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's see who this guest is. All right, everybody. This is Sam Dennehy, aka Halfass Customs, and this is Halfass Presents the podcast. Today's special guest, Joseph Blevins. Like I told you, won't be an interview because we already know about Joseph. We're going to talk about the RPM meet and what we're hoping to expect from it, what we're hoping to hint towards bringing for it to show everybody. And we're just going to talk about everything we want to see with the RPM meet coming up in 2 weeks. So without further ado, what's up, Joseph?
Hello, how's it going?
So you and me are both going, and we're sharing a room, so we're going to be able to bounce ideas off of each other, and maybe the day of setup we can create some kind of cool crazy display that's going to blow the whole show up. I think that'd be awesome.
That would be great if we can do that. We can be the highlight of the show.
That would be neat. I can tell you we will have the only display of its kind at the show.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I would have really stepped up my game from last year when I only brought the Dukes of Hazzard boar's nests.
Well, that was your first year.
Diorama.
So you weren't sure exactly, what you could or could not bring, or, how it needed to be displayed. So now you know.
Right.
So yeah, you can definitely make this show one to remember.
Semi-busy building my diorama, but we've had 2 years to do it. So I think it's pretty decent.
Is that shopping center?
It's going to be a shopping center with
the Whataburgers and
McDonald's, Whataburger, and a AutoZone.
That's awesome. For some of you that don't know, Joseph took that to a local, I'd say semi-local, it's about an hour away from his house, I think he said, local 125th scale model club show. And I can tell you, even though you didn't walk away with an award, which I think is just beyond stupid, because you had the best diorama out there. Everybody that never met you that I spoke to loved all of it. They were blown away because you could fit so much. You can tell so much story on such a small space when the same story you told took up a whole entire 8-foot table for the bigger scale.
Right. Yeah, it was very popular there. Everybody it got a lot of attention because number one, they have never seen anything like that.
Right.
And then the detail that was there also. Lots of pictures, lots of questions. Had a good time doing it.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you brought it because I've never been to Texas. I don't ever plan on going to Texas anytime soon. So, and I am in a model car club that club hosted that contest or that get together, and they've only ever seen my stuff in pictures. So to have some of my stuff on your module and you to show it all off like it was a car show going on in a car show, it's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I need to, if I go again, if they have it again local where I can go there pretty easily, I got some plans to make it way more lowridery if that's
Awesome.
a word.
Yeah, which is
Where I'll
crazy
probably blow
because
their minds with it.
right.
And I think me and you talked about it before, making the Whitaker Boulevard.
Oh, Whittier Boulevard. Yeah,
Whitaker, yeah. Some of the
yeah,
buildings from there and the arch sign. So
right. Yeah, for everybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, in Whittier, California, it is the mecca for car cruising. And when I mean car cruising, and not just hot rods, not customs, but all lowriders and bombs. And when I say bombs, they're like 1955 and older. You just leave them stock, but you drop them and you put every accessory that the company came with, and they're called bombs. I don't know who came up with that, but whatever, that's what they're called. So lowriders and bombs, and they cruise like 20 miles an hour or less up probably 5 or 6 or 7 miles of this road. And the famous archway that they go under, that all the pictures are taken from, has a big, huge Whittier Boulevard sign over the whole street. And that's what we're planning on creating here soon.
after the many 100 projects I got going on.
Right. And you know, the problem with your projects is your projects are my projects, because I just keep giving you ideas and you keep finding the files and they just keep on growing.
Right. My part is fairly easy compared to your part.
Well, maybe. Maybe. And I'll say maybe because I don't know how hard it is to resize a bigger design. And then you have to find the design to begin with, which there's a million designs online. So how you find just the right one, I don't, because I've looked on Thinkiverse, I just typed in a specific thing. I can't find it at all. But so they're like labeled other things. And then you just got to search the billions of pages of files to find what you're looking for. So I don't know if what mine is doing is the hard part or if yours is the hard part.
Yeah, sometimes it is like an Easter egg hunt to find something. And then I've learned over the past year, if I find something I like, download it right then and there, because you're never going to find it again.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
So, but a lot of the stuff that I use are the paid ones where you pay to get them, just because typically it's a better quality, a better design, more realistic, less cartoony design of a car or a wheel or whatever. But it's better to pay. There is some good free stuff out there, but not too much.
Right. And I mean, they're free for a reason. And usually it's not good.
Yeah. You learn the hard way sometimes. You know, you print it, download it, you know, size it up, print it, and then, you know, that's a couple hours wasted when it's
right.
Not a good design after all.
Yeah, exactly. And that sucks. But at least we know, you know. I mean, how would we know if we didn't try it to begin with? So that's cool.
And I got a couple of designers that I follow and I like, and I know their stuff is decent. So I try to stick with them, and then if there's something I'm looking for, sometimes I just ask and they'll do it, or they'll charge me to do it or whatever. But it's not huge. Yeah, it's not a huge fees.
That's cool.
But yeah.
Well, if you guys saw, I think it was probably like the last post I posted on the 187 scale vehicles group, Facebook group. I showed two pictures of a box I got from Joseph, and it had probably 15, 20 cars in it that you won't see until the show. I mean, heck, I don't even know if I'm going to get them all done at the rate I'm going. But either way, you'll see some of them at the show, this RPM meet that's coming up, and I'll have a live coverage of it and on-the-spot interviews for people that are too shy to do a full-length episode with. So be warned. I'm going to come into your face and make you say hi.
Get them.
Right.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Right. You would think that, but it's, yeah. I don't even want to get into how many people say no. There's a lot more that say no than there are that say yes.
I can imagine.
But yeah, I'm super excited to see what you're bringing and for us to mash up our ideas. And I think, I mean, just like 2019, I think our end of the table with your stuff and my stuff. I mean, I know Bob Johnson got completely confused on whose was what and what was whose with the photo gallery because half of my stuff had your name on it.
I got credit for, right?
Yeah. So think about this year. If we're going to have the whole corner table, man, there will be no knowing who did what.
Right? Yeah, it's going to be
kind of cool.
Fun. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the show again. Hopefully it's as big as it was in 2019.
I think it'll be bigger.
Or bigger.
And I say that strictly because a year and a half has gone by with nothing. And now that we finally have something, I think people are going to flock to it because they haven't done anything or gone anywhere.
Yeah, I think along those lines as well. More than people are still nervous or whatever about going out and seeing somebody face to face.
Well, I mean,
but yeah,
the whole country is starting to just act like it's completely over and gone. So, you know, you go to like your local grocery store or Walmart or your Target or whatever, and nobody's wearing masks hardly. I mean, some of the employees aren't even wearing masks. So, I mean, I think with that mentality and that attitude, then I think there'll be a lot of people going because they don't see it in the news anymore. They're not reading it online that it's still out there. So they're like out of sight, out of mind, you know? I think there's going to be a lot of people.
Been that way in Texas for a while now.
Yeah, well, you guys are Texas. You're like your own little country.
We need to be.
I mean, you have your own power grid. Like you guys have a standalone power grid that's not connected to anything else in the country. Talk about independence.
Right. Exactly.
And you guys knew that when that last hurricane came, the beginning of the year?
Oh, the freeze?
Yeah. Was it that? I think it was the freeze. Yeah. I said hurricane. I meant the last thing that happened, basically. Nothing else has happened out there since then.
No, and I personally never lost power. Some of my family members had the real rolling blackout where we could be gone for 45 minutes and back on for a couple hours and whatever. Jeez. But I never personally knew anybody who had lost power like they were showing on the news. But whatever.
Well, news does over exaggerate so much stuff.
For sure.
So you wonder you really wonder how much was true, how much was exaggerated.
Yeah, I'm sure some of it was true or whatever, but you know, it's always blown up a little bit.
I mean, that's anyhow, like you see Facebook has started to show, like certain people started to show like news reporters being in like waist deep water, and then you realize they're down on their knees punching down to make it look like it's way worse than it is.
Right.
It's like 2 feet away, somebody's walking in that puddle.
Right. Sure, it's crazy drama.
But I got good news. I think I can say it here on the episode. But Ken Patterson has already given the okay for us to go over. And Vic Smith, do you know who Vic Smith is?
Oh, yep. The guy with the awesome layout.
Edge. Yeah.
Yep.
He's given the okay for us to come over as well. So we got at least 2 places we can definitely go. And then Radisson and Tom said that they thought or they heard or somebody actually told them or something along these lines that I think Friday night they're going to try and get our 187 scale group like a dinner meetup.
Oh, nice.
So I'm assuming it'd probably be right around where the show is, because there are quite a few restaurants right there, and
Yeah,
none
I
of
would
us have to
imagine.
go too far.
Yeah,
So,
it's sounds like it's gonna be a decent turnout with the 187 group. Anyhow,
I mean, if Radisson's coming and Tom's coming, I mean, Tom lives all the way up northeast coast, so they're
yeah,
driving. And then if the Kellys come up too, they're from Texas as well. Ryan
Louisiana.
Kelly and or Robert Kelly, Robert Kelly and his dad. I forget what his dad's name is. The guys with the cranes.
Yeah. He was actually in the Fort Worth, the RPM that they had here in Fort Worth.
Oh, nice.
Just a dad though, but
Okay.
he didn't bring as much as he did last year.
Right. Well, some of it's his sons. So
Yeah,
but
I think
I don't
they're
know
from
if they're coming.
Louisiana
But
though.
oh, are they?
I bet
thought
they will
were in
be.
Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But hopefully they come. And then I mean, we were trying to get like Ken Patterson was trying to get Jennifer Kirk to come from London, but their borders are shut down. So they're not allowing people to fly in and out of there. So I guess that's not happening.
Yeah,
I mean, it still may
saw
happen.
that.
It could be last minute thing, but probably not.
Yeah, that sucks.
But yeah, I mean, throughout, there's a lot of people saying they're coming to this.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, I think.
I think it'd be pretty cool if you could figure out a way to get up to Massachusetts.
I mean, I can fly, but I can't bring much.
Right. Well, shoot, you probably don't even need to bring much. I mean, with the amount of crap that I'm going to bring, just to go to that show and to see all the other people that we don't see in St. Louis or we don't see, anywhere else. They'll just go up there because that's where they're more local at.
Right. There's a lot of modelers up there.
Right. That'd be neat. I mean, I am planning on making that trip too. It's at the end of January. So when that rolls around.
I don't mind the fly there, but I don't want to do the drive from Dallas.
No, I wouldn't want you to either. You can get a spaceship and just teleport yourself there.
Right.
That's what we need. Have you been watching that Loki show? Do you watch those shows on Disney Plus? Loki?
No.
Oh, well, you're like 1% of America that isn't. This show's got like this handheld device where you can open up a doorway and go anywhere in time. That's kind of what you need, is like a doorway just to teleport yourself to Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. I would pick other places besides Massachusetts, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it is a time traveling device too, so yeah, I mean, anywhere probably would be great. But that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I think with the extra stuff that we'll be able to do, go in those people's houses, and hopefully we do something with the dinner and then the show. I mean, just seeing all the people at the show that, we hadn't seen in, pretty much 2 years.
Right. You haven't seen. I saw Bob and Dan.
Look here. Don't be rubbing it in.
Since they are kind of like neighbors to me anyway.
Right.
They're all from the Dallas area, yeah.
That's what's crazy. Like, before you guys had that RPM meet down there, the only RPM meet, or not even RPM meet, the only meet that this club went to was that Massachusetts show. And then St. Louis opened. And it makes you wonder, why haven't we figured out a better way to get our club to bigger shows or any other shows? Like, what about the West Coast people? All those people in California and Arizona, Nevada, and all them people that I mean, they should have a show out there that they can be able to present at. I would suspect.
Yeah, I would think
I
so
mean,
too. And the Fort Worth RPM, it was the first annual Fort Worth show. It was decent sized. It had I think a decent turnout. It was a 1-day event, but it did die down in the afternoon, and I didn't stay after it died down. About 3 o'clock or whatever, I took off.
Yeah, well, that sounds about right. I mean, that's 2-3 is about when things do die down on any event that's model related.
Yeah.
And then if it's 2 days, then it's, you got that extra time to go when there's a lot of people. But if it's a 1-day thing, set up at like 8-9 o'clock, and then by 2-3 o'clock you're ready to go.
Right.
Usually how it is.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And I talked to some other fellow modelers there. Some of them are for the area, some of them are from like Arkansas. So I mean, we got some people to drive down a little bit, Oklahoma. So
that's cool. I know in 2019, I found that North Carolina, about an hour and a half from my house, has a RPM meet, but they are super cryptic or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They don't have a actual website, so there's not an actual contact information you can get to them. You just see what they put up on like I think the RPM website will show that that's a show that you can attend. And I think they have an email to contact them through, which is really dumb. Can I just call you or something? But yeah, it's a 2-day show too. And looking at the pictures, I mean, it'd be like our RPM meet in St. Louis if it didn't have young people. It's just full of old people that like trains. There's nothing else at that show but trains. And I would literally be the only person there with cars, and I'd just be out of place, I'm sure.
Right. And the Fort Worth show, I was the only guy there with buildings and cars that wasn't trained. I mean, a lot of people obviously had trains, and then there was a couple other vehicle modelers there, but I was the only one that had the little diorama setup.
Yeah, well, the module thing is still pretty unknown to a lot of HO scale enthusiasts. It was only our club, I think, a few guys in the 187 scale vehicles club that decided to create that whole idea for a display to set our stuff on. And most of the people in that club, especially even in our group on Facebook, they're not into that, or they don't know about it. If you look at the amount of people that are actually posting pictures of the modules, there's only a handful of us. So the whole idea of building a display, a module, whatever, is still super small, and it needs to grow bigger.
It does. Yeah, it would be nice to have like 10 people. We could fill that whole table up.
Right, exactly. And at the Massachusetts show, there's like 40 people that bring all their modules, and we fill up a whole entire circle, like a rectangle of modules that all connect. Yeah. I mean, there's a guy that has like a U.S. coastal service layout that's probably like 12 feet long. And then there's 2 guys that do a lot of commercial, what are their names? I'm so bad with names. Anyways, there's 2 guys that bring like 12 to 15 modules and just take up like one whole side of the module layout display area.
Wow.
Yeah, and their stuff.
If I had it my way, I would do the same thing, because I have so many cool ideas. I want to do this, do that, but I don't want to give up any of them.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Or a rotating one. bring this one
That's
this year and this one next year and
yeah.
whatever. But
That's the problem. The more and more you end up creating, you only have so much room at a show, and then you only have so much room in the transport to ship it. So you
right,
would have to like pick and choose. And then what do you do with them all at your house? You just stack them on top of each other and let them collect dust, or
I know
what happens?
that's the problem. Yeah, my original plan was to have like a module layout, like Ken has his, and then
Yeah.
so just have the section come out, take it to show, and then come home and put it back in. But that didn't
That
work
hasn't
out.
happened yet.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen just because of the height and the measurements of that. I guess I don't know.
Well,
I still have not
mine's
taken the
definitely not
time.
going to happen. You've been to my house. You see what I got right here. That's about as much as it is going to be. When I get my ultimate workshop one done, I'll probably get rid of this one and just tear it all up, because I won't need that really. All my other dioramas of the history of my workshop are little dioramas. That's the biggest one so far. And then the next one, the headquarters, that's going to be like this whole thing plus more. So I won't need
Right.
this one. But yeah, it'll probably just be these two. And I told you I wanted to build a parking lot forever, and I still haven't done that. So I'll probably have to get rid of another one to build a parking lot. I mean, I got a whole room on this side. I don't know. Who knows? My house is too dusty, and it'll just be a room full of dust and cars.
Well, I built. My main modules I built from the wood and actually all wood. There's no foam on those, but then I built one with these houses I've been 3D printing as well, out of all styrofoam. Sides, everything is styrofoam. So that one is way lighter to handle, easier to manage or whatever.
Right.
And then, so I think we talked. I'm going to build a parking lot for us for the RPM. To go on the end of one of our modules, because it's just going to be an entry and no exit highway or road or whatever. So, but I'm going to build it all out of the foam, that pink foam. I'm not going to make it out of wood.
That's cool. It'll be lighter.
But it matches up exactly with the other one. So
right on. Yeah, that'll look nice. The only thing I would say you could add to that is like parking lot street lights, but I mean, you don't even have to do that if we don't got time, but just future,
right.
Because every parking lot's got lights in it, so you can see it dark. Not that you're ever really going to show it at dark, but it's just for the actual look.
Yeah. In my module, I have street lights on mine, but I know power sometimes is a problem to have power. And I don't have the little battery pack ones. I connected it to power.
Right.
So.
Well, that's how mine are on the back lot, the tall ones, and then the staircase going to the Bates house. They're powered by an actual AC outlet. Yeah. AC or DC, whatever one that you got to plug into the wall.
Right. Yeah. I can't remember if they have power or they don't have power, or if it's only in certain spots. But if we're going to be in the same area, we're kind of like in the middle of the room.
I would think that room has to have some kind of
floor power.
A floor, yeah. But I mean, I never looked.
Yeah.
Maybe
didn't pay
maybe this year we don't plan on lighting anything up. But I mean, with power like that. But maybe we still search for it. So for 2022, we know.
Right. Yeah, and I might bring it just in case. Bring the power supply or whatever. Obviously, the lights stay on the layout. But just in case we can use it, we'll try it out. Yeah. Not that it's going to do any good inside of the
lit building. Yeah.
But it'll light up the inside of the building where people can see my interiors I built.
Well, that's what I have on battery power on all mine. is anything that's lit on the inside of a building is done by a battery, so I can shut it off and on with just my own switch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I didn't know how to light up the street, and everything I looked online with was all like actual electrical power where you needed like to hook it up to the track power on your train track layout or whatever, or
Oh,
what
yeah.
have you. So I was like, well, I guess I got to do it this way. I'm not an electrician. I don't know how to hook up a battery to those and make them work. So
Yeah,
whatever.
I blew out a couple with doing mine because the too much power for those little LEDs.
I saw no kidding. I saw something on Facebook that was advertised, came from China or Japan or something. It was advertised as a modular to plug like 20 lights, individual lights in. So I had like, I mean, mine wasn't that big. I bought the small one. I think it has like 7 or 8 slots to plug individual lights in. And I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool, because that's exactly what I need to build. I'm gonna have each light go into a slot. And I mean, that thing plugged into power. But I bought that just because I looked at how many lights I had and I looked at how many slots I had, and I was like, well, this should work just fine. But yeah, if I didn't have that thing, I really have no clue how to power that thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely not an electrician either. But I know LEDs,
Right.
you can probably run 20 or 30 on the same slot without a problem because it doesn't draw very much. Not like
Oh,
the
see, I didn't
old
even know that.
incandescent lights back in the day. Yeah, I used to blow my transformer when I was a kid. I had my train set layout and I had all my house lights and everything hooked up to the transformer box for the train, and it would always pop or overheated or whatever, it stopped working for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But then I got smart and like had two, one just for the accessories and one just for the train.
Well, before I knew even how to do that, uh, they came with these little solenoids or whatever they are, round pill type things with
Oh,
leads on each end.
the diode.
Diodes. See, I don't even know what they're called, but yeah, diodes. I didn't even know I was supposed to use those, so I started hooking up these straight to that power thing, and they just blow right
Uh,
away. And I was like, shoot, let me research what I need to do. And then each one of those diodes are just hand twisted and taped because I
oh
don't have
yeah.
a soldering iron, and so they're very, very flaky. Like I'll plug it into the wall, and one may not be lit, so I go underneath the module and just start moving wires. It's very janky, but that's kind of how I am. I do stuff half-assed. I wonder why. Can't figure that out.
Right. Mine is not that bad. Hold on one second.
I mean, I should have looked into it and did it better, but I didn't
Yeah,
really care.
I bought myself a soldering gun trying to think I was going to solder something, but I did a couple and it was a pain.
Right. I mean, you could look online, like YouTube, and these guys are masters. They make it look so effortlessly. Like, oh, it's this easy. And then you go and try and do it. You're like, I need a lot more practice.
Right. And of course, I bought like the $6 gun from China, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I would have bought.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
But I mean, I did solder a bunch of them and then I heat shrink them so they're all covered up. But
oh, nice.
So
Yeah,
far,
you
so
went
good.
2
They all
steps
still
further
work.
than I did.
Well, I just think of the house burning down.
Well, I think of it as I have insurance, so I'll get a new house out of it if my house does burn down.
I got too much stuff for that. I mean, I even with my 3D printers all the time running, I'm like, oh my God. And I leave to go grocery shopping or whatever. I'm like, what if the house burns down while I'm
Yeah,
gone?
I understand that. But think about all that other stuff that's always plugged in and always running at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, nothing's ever happened with them the whole time I've had them with them running
Right.
all the time.
I think if stuff were to have happened, we would have heard about it. and then the companies would have completely recalled a whole bunch of them and redesigned them to be non-blow up, non-fire catching 3D printers. And I've never heard of that happening yet, so I think you're safe.
Well,
and I know hopefully. It is just on the back of your head all the time, though. Like, what if?
Everything is in the back of my head all the time these days.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, with the year we had and everything going on, I mean, life in general is a big what if anymore.
Right.
It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, so I plan on bringing like three module deals to the RPM plus the parking lot. So I'm going to bring my houses I built and then the strip center.
That's cool too, because just like when you bring something that you've built that is not readily available to the public from, going to a trade store and buying it, you're showing people just by bringing it that, hey, this is a possibility. If you got like a modern day layout, you can have these modern day homes and I can build them. So it's perfect advertisement for you, which is great.
Yeah, it is. And I don't even know how I even thought about doing it. And I think just the neighborhood I live in, there's a modern house community that's right around the corner, and it's gated and closed off. So it's like, what's in there? What's secret?
Right. Right.
So one day I was driving home and the UPS man was coming out, so I went in to go check it out.
Nice.
And so I got a couple ideas from there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But since it's gated all the time, Google Maps or whatever, you can't do the regular street views like you can everywhere else.
But they have aerial views with the 3D tilt, though. That still might help a little.
It helps a little bit. But I sneak in there, and then every chance I get, I drive in there or walk in there when I see it's open. Nobody's ever said anything to me. It's not that big of a community either. It's probably like 20 houses maybe.
Well, if you still have the same car you did when I met you at the first RPM meet that you went to, I mean, you look like you belong there, so.
Oh, whatever.
If you were driving some old beat up Corolla from the 80s, then yeah, there would be cameras following you and police right on your tail.
I mean, that's what I want to model, but I don't want to drive that.
Right.
But yeah, I still have the same vehicle.
Yeah, so
it hasn't been used very much.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. I was looking at my my van over last year, and I think I'd gotten one oil change in it in the whole entire year, when normally I'd have one like every 3 months because that's how much we use it.
Right.
And the thing that sucks, the day this episode's going to go live, I'll be already back in the goddamn office, which I do not want. They're making me go back on Monday.
This Monday coming up?
Yeah, that's when this is going live. So it's gonna suck.
Good luck.
It's gonna suck bad. And the problem is, me and my wife work different schedules, so like drastically different. So we literally need 2 cars now, when we used to only need 1.
Oh wow!
So now we're gonna pay double the gas and whatever, double the maintenance.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
And we're not making any more money.
Of course not. Now that you have to pay all these expenses, it's less money.
Yeah, and I will tell you, because of that, the modeling is gonna slow down. Thanks, work, for ruining my modeling process.
Sure. Yeah, I think my company's gonna let us stay home forever.
That's awesome, dude. That's great. That's what you want
when we need
from
to
a company.
Go in. Yeah.
And that would make sense. Only if you need to, not if you don't need to. And none of my people need to, so I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Because some, not the whole company, I guess it's up to the individual departments and bosses and whatnot, but ours wants to stay home because production and productivity and all that crap has not been suffered.
Right.
Increased.
That's
it's
exactly
increased,
with
actually.
ours.
Yeah.
It's exactly with ours. Yeah, my
So-
whole department, no kidding. We went from like number 7, number 8 in the whole company to number 2
nice.
over the pandemic. What does that tell you? That tells you we don't need to have an office to work in.
Right.
But my company's stupid, so it is what it is.
We'll see. We'll see if it works out that way. It'd be nice.
Well, I'm crossing
me,
my fingers
obviously.
for you, man, because that'd be
Right.
cool.
I don't get very
all the
much
work you
modeling
get
done, though. Why?
You get a lot of printing done, though. Because
Yeah, I
it
get to
can work on its own.
babysit the
On
printers
its
and
own.
start.
Yeah, on its own.
Start new files or babysit new files or whatever. But it is more convenient for me to do that than
Right.
set it in the morning and hope like hell when I get back home it's still there and the house didn't burn down.
Right. Or maybe that the printer decided to say, look, I need to build a new home, and that's only a quarter of the way done. There's no roof on it.
Sometimes it happens, man. You watch it and you're like, oh, that's good. I always usually watch the first couple layers go down or make sure it's starting good, and then I walk away and come back. I check on it like an hour or two later, and it's a bowl of spaghetti because it came loose and it's just string everywhere now.
Yeah.
Or a big melted blob. So I worry about that all the time.
Well, the more and more 3D printers get better and better, the more we won't have to worry about that. They'll get easier and easier to use and better turnouts, and
yeah, that's true. I mean, I
don't have to worry about that.
Not the best in the world, but I got mine dialed in to where I don't really have those drama anymore.
I mean, I look at it. I look like your prints on the whatever printer you're using can easily be, what's the word? Easily be painted and mocked up to where you didn't need to do any actual body work if you know what you're doing. Like that truck I showed you before we recorded, I just painted it. I didn't do no sanding or nothing.
No,
and if you got the right paint and if you got the skills, you can manipulate it so you don't have to do body work.
Right. And I hardly ever do any body work on any of those. If it's obvious something that needs to be sanded off or whatever, I don't sand and go crazy with them because the paint is going to hide 99% of it anyway.
Right. Now, if you're going to airbrush like super light paint coats, then yeah, you're going to want to fix the body, but you just paint like a real person with spray can.
Right. That's all I do.
It's already thick enough.
Exactly. Speaking of spray cans, I was spraying something the other day, and it's a paint color I haven't used in a while. So, I shake it anyway, but I shook it, and went outside, sprayed it, and it came out like that freaking textured paint.
Oh.
And ruined everything I was working with. Yeah.
Yeah, naturally. Ugh, that's not good.
And then I took it off the model and just sprayed it onto the cardboard that I was using for a platform. And it was like just putty coming out of that damn can.
Wow.
I was like, holy crap. Yeah.
And you shook it too, which doesn't make any sense.
I know. So that one went in the trash.
Well, next time that happens, try this next step. Try and put it in boiling water. Boil, like take a pot, make it boiling, and then just put the can in there and let it sit for a few minutes, because that's going to heat up that liquid inside that can to where it's literally liquid. They say if you use spray paint, that's the best result out of a spray can you can possibly get, is if you already do that. Because that liquid, that paint's got to be really hot to where it just goes from like a semi-solid mask to pure liquid.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's the right terminology, but you can spray paint something and it comes out thick, but if you get that paint hot enough, not to where the can's going to blow up, but hot enough, that liquid inside is going to come out like water, but still stick because it's got sticking to it. You know, it's got sticky adhesive properties in the paint, but it'll come out a lot smoother.
I'll have to try it out. I bought
only if you have that issue, though, because if you don't have that issue with another spray can, then you should use it the way it is.
Yeah, this one was an old color I had bought for one particular project and never used it again, but I bought these cans of paint. They're car paint. Like
Oh yeah, that's what I use. I think I showed you maybe. Yeah, in the garage. I got like 200 of those cans.
Yeah. But I found this store here in Dallas that has all this old I guess they're returns or products that nobody buys anymore or something. I don't know, but I think I paid $1 and something for this can of spray paint.
Oh man, that whole can's like $10 at every auto parts store right now. That's awesome.
I know it's even labeled 10 something. But yeah. I bought like 10 cans of it. Every color that they had because I knew it was decent paint.
Yeah, Duplicolor is some of the best paint you can use for a spray can for automotive purposes.
I got all kinds of colors like indigo, pearl, blue. I haven't really used this one for this yet. Original Volkswagen color. But
that's cool.
It's not that I don't have enough cars to damn paint. But yeah.
But you have the color, and even if you just used it one time, that $1 was well spent.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I just use Krylon or Rustoleum paint for those cars.
So here's
depending on the
interesting fact. Interesting fact. If you're using Duplicolor, you can't use Krylon Clear, and if you're using Krylon, you can't use Duplicolor Clear because they're two different styles of paint. One's like acrylic and one's the other one. Yet Rustoleum is the universal. It'll crack or bubble or whatever. So
what about those?
So this is how it works. Poppy.
Like the Modular Master.
Oh, that's the same as like Tester spray paint. They're like almost in cahoots with each other. Use their product and only their product on their product.
Oh, okay.
Now, Rustoleum Clear is what I use. That's universal clear. It's a clear that doesn't use heat to dry, meaning I think a Krylon Clear uses a heat substance mixed into the liquid that ends up shrinking. So when you paint, say, Duplicolor on the car and then you clear it, it heats up and shrinks, and that's what causes the creases, like the cracked paint, like a spider web effect in the paint, because the paint isn't dry nearly enough to clear it and have that clear not moving. So it creases and starts cracking everywhere and bubbles up or whatever. And same thing with vice versa with Duplicolor and Krylon. But Rustoleum doesn't do that. Rustoleum doesn't have that heat mixture in it. So you can use Rustoleum Clear on probably either paint, I think, Krylon or, because that's the universal. And you can go to Walmart, pick up Rustoleum Clear for like $3 for a regular size tall can.
I've only had that happen one time, I think, on a car. That was I mean, I don't paint too often, but
well, you know my history. I've been doing model cars for 30 years. So when you're young, and this was before internet, and I wasn't in a model car club, you literally ran into issues like that all the time, not knowing what was causing it. Yeah.
Learn by
and
fire.
Now that now that you get old enough and you've practiced, and I've only ever used spray paint for all the 30 years. Well, spray paint and brush paint, but you find out, and then you learn what does what and what doesn't do what, and how to manipulate this and that. And that's one of the coolest things. Like, I can't pull off a full-on airbrush paint job style, but I can do it maybe 3/4 of the way. Just manipulating spray paint the right way.
Right. Yeah, I would love to learn airbrush just for knowledge.
I mean, I can airbrush a car. I just don't like the cleanup. You spray can something and then just set it on the shelf. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the next color. But with an airbrush, you got to clean that air socket every single color you go to. You got to clean it, because you put a new color in there and little spots and specks of that old color is going to be in there if you don't clean it out fully between each color. And that's why you have to clean it. Because if you don't, you get a mixture of colors. And if you never cleaned it, you can have a rainbow effect on every single paint job.
Everything will be brown or black.
Yeah, right. So
Eventually.
yeah, that's why you have to clean out the airbrush so much.
Oh, okay.
And that's just too much work.
Yeah, I've never messed with it, so I don't know.
I mean, if you're doing like lowrider paint jobs, it's 100% what you want to use. But that's why I got good friends that make me decals.
Right. Yeah, I've seen those really cool paint colors they have for those airbrushes, you know, and you're like, man, I really want to try it just for that color. But
right.
That's a big investment for one color.
There's so many companies. Well, I can't say so many, but there's a good handful of companies that specializes in candies and pearls and flakes and so many wild mixtures of colors and things to make a lowrider paint job just pop. And that's what they specialize in.
I saw that from the lowrider show I went to.
Yeah. I'm glad you did.
You know, and we were talking about those lowriders or whatever, and we were talking about the Japanese market, how there's not any representation currently in 187 for lowriders that we know of anyway. Maybe there's people out there that do it and we don't know it, but
doubt it.
You know, I really like those JDM cars too. That's really my preference of all those cars.
Yeah.
In real life, and I don't have a lowrider or anything like that, but
well, we can put some swingers on your Lexus. You could be halfway lowrider.
Oh, I see them all the time.
Oh, I know you do.
Lowridered up or whatever, but
we can get a spare tire cover on your trunk.
What's that called? A Continental kit?
Yeah, but just a double taped version on your trunk.
Oh God. We need the Spirit of Ecstasy on there too. Why not?
Oh yeah, you have to have it.
But I had some of those little Japanese cars that are not quite any scale, I guess. I don't know what scale they are. They're a little, I think, small for 187. But I thought about doing some. Maybe I'll do it for the show. Just chop those little crappy wheels that come with it and slam it to the ground with the. Yeah, just glue the wheels on.
I mean, that's all that needs to be done, really. I mean, all those cars are already, JDM lowrider import scene they're all lowered already. That's their whole thing, is to have it as low as it'll go, to where it's scraping on every pebble that it runs over.
Right.
I mean, unless you're doing a drift car, I mean, the show car is slammed all the way to the ground, and they drive it that way purposely.
Right. Yeah. So there was a couple of those cool. Some of those guys had some really cool models at that show with those cars. And
yeah, in the 125th, 124 scale world, that market is starting to come up big time within the last 3-4 years. It's really blowing up.
Yeah.
Because the lowrider thing has been out for, 20 years now.
Forever, yeah.
13-inch 100 spokes and all the Chevys and Fords and American cars. But the import scene is like the kits are starting to become more available, and it's just.
Yeah. Some of those guys, those details are ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. It must take months to do one car, I would imagine.
Well, if you're talking about the lowrider paint jobs or the import paint jobs, like there's two different kinds. There's the lowrider paint jobs that you've helped me make decals for, and then there's the import, which is a little bit different. It's got like text on it, or
most of them are just basic colors. I didn't see much that had any artwork on them. They're all like either black or some sort of candy color.
Yeah, because I say most of my club, they're good. There's only one guy that's truly good with an airbrush and the taping and making like all different colors and all that crazy designs. The other guys are good with just building the car with like maybe one or two colors, like a two-tone or just one-tone color, but just doing crazy modifications to them.
Right.
But that wasn't just our club there. I mean, there was a few different clubs, and I mean, there's one guy from New Jersey there. I think two people from California, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, not all of those people are crazy car painters. They're just crazy car builders.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity still in the 187 world for.
Oh, definitely. We just got to get more people into
custom cars. Yeah.
Because see, the opportunity will be there, and it'll continue to be there for us. Obviously, you'll find it. I'll find it. We'll figure out what we need for it, and we'll build it, and we can get it done. But if it's just the two of us, or say even a handful of people, then what happens when we retire? What happens when we get old enough to where we can't see what we're doing anymore with these little cars? Then who's going to take over? We got to like have this trend continue. Because think about this whole entire hobby, this scale hobby, before I got into it. It was all the same thing that you've seen for the last 20 years being built. And then I got into it and opened the door, and that's helping other people to see, hey, this is a possibility too. Maybe they still won't build it, but they'll know that it's out there and it's available to do so.
Yeah, I mean, you got a couple in our group now that maybe it's not low riders, but they're super detail in an automobile, like the fellows who do the 18-wheelers.
Yeah. Well, Tom Hart, as young as that guy is, man, some of his builds are so unbelievably detailed. It's unreal.
I know. I really like his stuff.
But what he has built is like top-notch stuff. It's crazy. I mean, none of my cars has got as much detail as in some of his cars do.
Mine neither.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, the details there.
I like to call mine a 6 foot away car. It looks good from 6 feet away.
Well, my cars look good, but they look good in a sense like, oh, look at the Skittles that they just dumped on that table. It's just a bunch of Skittles everywhere. Skittles with wheels.
Sure, yeah.
The eye candy term.
Sure.
That's all it is.
If you had like I guess we'll see when we put the parking lot together. If we park every spot full, we'll see how that looks.
Well, I'm planning on bringing. I must have put in the other display case. My big rig truck that's got the band on the trailer.
Yeah.
So every car show needs to have a band playing or music. So there'll be the music. Not that we might have even music playing on it, but at least it'll look like there's music. Oh, and I've got some food trailers. I think that's what you call them. Where did
I
I
was
put
just
them?
about to say a food truck or some sort of something.
Where did I put them? They were just in here. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got some trailers that serve hot dogs and tacos and stuff. And
Yeah.
we can set that up either on the street outside of
Break it
the
up a little bit.
parking lot or somewhere. It's a good question. Where the heck did I put those?
I've seen them, I think, before.
Yeah, I have 4 of them.
I bought a
whatever, I
white
don't know.
van thinking I was going to make a food truck out of it, but it never happened.
Oh, well, paint it black and write free candy on the side of it. See how many people like seeing that one.
Right. It's actually a nice one of those nice ones from. I bought it from Dan at the last show, actually. Masterpiece, or something like that.
Oh, Masterpiece Models? That's a good
Yeah.
company. There's some guy, I already forget who he is. Some guy built the GTA 5 food truck, which
Oh, really?
I really want. Yeah, I really want another. I want one. He's only built one, I think, and I want one. He told me he'd build me one, but I didn't talk to him since I commented on his post, which was probably sometime beginning of last year or end of the year before or something.
Right.
But I mean, it just
Yeah.
looked like a regular taco truck unless you knew where that specifically was from. So most
Right.
people wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, most people wouldn't. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be cool to have us set up next to each other and show off everything
For
we
sure.
can. Because
And
I'm
then-
telling you, you got a bunch of trains on tables, and then you got our stuff. Our stuff is
Right.
gonna be awesome.
The the module you're talking about. So I know you've been building that big dream garage, and you have some more work to do or redo or whatever you felt like you didn't like it.
Check this out.
We-
It's sitting on the floor behind me.
Oh, nice. Do you put some of those lifts in there?
No, not yet. I painted them. I've got them all black, and I've got the arms chrome with that chrome
Okay.
pen, and
Yep.
then the controller on the side, I put
Yep.
chrome too. And then the
Okay,
4-post lifts, I just painted all black, like gloss black.
Sure. Do they fit good?
So, sure.
I mean,
I
they
just
fit a
painted
car
them. I
okay for you?
haven't done anything else with them. I just painted them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my next year, I think I'm gonna bring something totally different than I do this year,
Cool.
module wise. I got a couple things in my brain.
Well, maybe you can expand on that Jurassic Park teeny tiny diorama and maybe build an actual whole full-on park. Go to Kmart or go to Walmart and buy some big dinosaurs to set on there.
I can print them. I don't need to buy anything. That's a good thing about the printer.
Well, then you have to paint it, and then you have to make it look good. Those ones are already painted.
True. Yeah, I don't know. I want to still make the Jeep. And a couple of their movie cars, but I need to modify a couple of the movie cars. I want to change the wheels on the General Lee to the real mag wheels or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, whatever.
But I bought some from Tyson.
Oh, cool.
I haven't done anything with them though. I gotta find the dang thing.
You got them, so that's cool.
But yeah, the little Jurassic Park deal. I don't know if I'll bring that or not. I guess I could just to put the car on it, but it's just a little tiny, like 6x8 inch deal.
Yeah. Well, my Flintstone one is smaller than that.
Oh, is it?
By the way, that's what you won for the contest.
The Flintstone thing?
Yeah, I want to give that to you at the meet.
Oh, that's cool. I'll put it in my fancy neighborhood.
Yeah, that'll work.
My 3D one, not my own. My neighborhood is not fancy.
No, put in your real one. And then you watch the wind blow it away.
Right. What was that? Pew!
Yeah.
That was Fred. He's gone.
Yeah, right.
Oh, a dragonfly took him away.
Exactly. A butterfly
But
can take them away.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to make the more of the Jurassic Park deal, but to be honest, it doesn't really tickle my fancy all that much.
No,
I'm not a super fan of it or anything, but
I think exactly what you did is perfect. You don't need any more or any less, because just what you did tells the whole story. Anybody and everybody will look at that and be like, I know exactly where that's from, and I know what part of the movie I'm watching. I know everything. You don't even need a dinosaur on it. You just need what you did, and that's it, and it's perfect.
Right. Actually, I did find the file for the headquarters, I guess. Like the
Oh wow.
Yeah, but of course that's way too much for me to even think about.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't even care to model that, to be honest with you. But I thought it was cool. I mean, it'd be cool to have, I guess, in a corner or something like that. But
well, I'll tell you what. I think one of the next modules I'm gonna be building, honestly, is seeing that I got that courthouse back there from Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
I seriously think I'm gonna build Hill Valley, because the buildings surrounding the little quad in the area that's sitting in front of the courthouse are just general run-of-the-mill buildings. 50 style, 40s, 50s style buildings that are every single building that everybody has on their layout already anyways.
Right.
So I just need some little details on, like, there's a movie theater there, I think, on one corner, and there's a cafe. There's a movie theater behind the courthouse, and then there's a cafe, and then there's a gas station.
Yeah.
Like right across, and then everything else is just a run-of-the-mill building that isn't fancier, So I just got to get those three things set up where they're supposed to go on the module, and then fill the rest in with just regular buildings and the 1955 Hill Valley.
Which movie? Oh, okay. So you're gonna do the 55.
The first
version?
one. I would love to do the second one because I love the futuristic version of Hill Valley, but it's gonna take more work to make everything futuristic than if I just plant run-of-the-mill buildings on there that already look like they're in place.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm very cheap and quick. I don't like to waste time on stuff. I'm kind of done with that stupid garage. It's already been a year since I touched it. I don't know that I'm ever going to finish it.
I have I'll share offline because I don't want to make it public yet, of an idea for my next module, and I'll show you some things.
Well, with that, everybody, this episode's done. No, it's been an hour since we started recording, and I do have work tomorrow. So, you got anything else? Anything else you want to mention?
Looking forward to seeing everybody at the show and catching up again for the past year and a half or 2 years, I guess it has been now. Just looking forward to that, and looking forward to the fellowship.
I mean, 2019 was the last RPM meet in St. Louis. So it'll be 2 years.
Yep.
That's a long time.
Looking forward to it. Ready to go.
Until the next episode, everybody. And since this is going up on Monday morning, I will tell you, I think maybe Friday night, I guess. Friday night, maybe we'll do a live stream, because that'll be the weekend before the meet, and I'm not doing it Thursday night or Friday night because I'll already be in St. Louis for that. So maybe Friday night we'll do a live stream of talking about the meet and what everybody's hoping to bring and expect and all that stuff. So if you want to come back for that, Joseph, that'd be cool. If not, if you're busy, it's cool too. I mean,
All
this
right.
is kind of a spare of the moment, 1 week's notice. So I hope that's enough time for everybody.
Well, I got a lot of buildings left.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Until next episode, you guys stay tuned and hope you like it, like and subscribe. And we'll see you later. All right, everybody. That was Joseph Blevins talking about RPM meet, talking about the Texas RPM meet, talking about his what he's bringing, and yeah, just talking about what we're expecting for this this next RPM meet in St. Louis. Hopefully, from everything I said, and hopefully, I think from everything he said, it sounds like it's going to be a good show. So if you guys can make it out there, awesome. If you can't, obviously, if you live too far away or whatever, flight restrictions or life restrictions, you know, I'll have plenty of coverage like I always do. And I'll even be doing some live YouTube, like on the spot interviews or just saying hi or whatever. I'll try and get as many people as I can to be like on the spot interviews, like short, super quick interviews, but just so everybody can see everybody that's not at the show, and also just take tons of photos for everybody. And yeah, I'll be that guy. So stay tuned for coverage from that. And like I said earlier, Friday, I'm gonna announce something tomorrow, but or I guess when you watch this, it'll be Sunday. I'll announce it, but I'll do a live stream on Friday night to talk about the RPM meet with everybody that's gonna go. If everybody that's going, you know, attends the live stream. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of people, but yeah, I'll do that, and we'll see what everybody thinks and what everybody says about that. So until Friday, we'll see you guys next time. See you later.